Hey guys, what's up? Echo here with yet another story. Today I'm telling you about a time where I just had way too many. So this is another story that takes place in my prime party days, the ripe age of 17. And this story involves MDMA like I said, and man, it gives me a lot of anxiety even to think about these stories for some reason. I also remember them the best though, it's like trauma, you know? These times traumatize me, man. And talking them out into the void for 3 viewers is just a really great coping mechanism. It's working really well. During this time, I was going to all these raves for like underage kids. They literally served water at the bar and that's it. Everyone was 17 or under. And of course, why would we drink just to be sober for most of the party when we could sneak in hard drugs? Because, you know, they couldn't just search us, they couldn't pack us down, we were minors. So I picked up some pills from my guy. He sold me everything like the day before the party. I wanted MD Rock, but he didn't have any, so I settled for these like little pills. These pills were like brown, tiny, and stamped with Louis Vuitton like LV symbol. We got these a few times after this, but this was the first time. And later on, my friends would always call these pills the LVs of death, and this story is partially why. So like a responsible adult, I drove my friends and me to this party in the city. We were 3 in total, me and my friend whose parents owned the party company, and this girl I was kind of close with, me and her, like a standard party crew. We get there, it takes like 10 minutes, I get my 6 pills and make sure they're with me, and my friends had some LVs too, but I think only like 3 or 4 each. We each had one while waiting to get in, and almost get caught immediately by security, like he literally just walked past us as we were dry swallowing these little things. It was ridiculous. Our night almost ended immediately, but we finally got in. We were probably in line for a solid 20 minutes and inside was popping off. This party was taking place in a nightclub that was shut down for the night and just open for underage kids, and we'd never seen the inside, so you know, we're like, oh, we're so cool, we're in, you know, this place. So it'll become important later, but basically there are multiple rooms inside this club. We were only allowed in the top room, which has a small staircase on the left side of the room that goes down to the other rooms when the club is normally open. But anyway, so we walk into the venue, we all have another 1 pill because the party's only 3 hours long and we're not feeling it yet. We also saw this other chick and a friend, and they were like certified hoes, and if you think that's mean, just wait because it's warranted. So we met these girls at schoolies the year prior, which is like spring break but so much worse. And we were just hanging out, you know, this one chick was into me because I was straight back then, and this other chick was into my friend, so we're all dancing and chilling. The girl snuck in some rum, so we were just sipping on that, feeling good. My pills hadn't really kicked in yet. And you know, I was starting to get really anxious because the party was around halfway over and I really wanted to feel something, you know. So my friends took their last ones and I took 2, so I'm on 4 at this point. Still not feeling anything, or at least I don't think I am. So like 10 minutes later, like an idiot, I took another one. Anyway, you can probably see where this is going. So not even 5 minutes after taking my 5th pill, I am having the most intense come up I've ever had in my entire life. I was sweating violently. My eyes were completely blurry. I was breathing out through my teeth, you know, my jaw was so clenched. It was just this super intense, terrifying feeling of coming up so hard. So as this is happening to me, we're moving spots to try to get a better view of the stage, and my friends are starting to feel it too, you know, so they're not really worried about me, they're worrying about themselves right now. But man, I am like dying. I'm walking on the left of my friends trying to converse with them while fighting off this fleeting feeling to puke, and I take a step and I fall down maybe 6 or 7 stairs just straight on my ass. It wasn't too bad, but I was still kind of shook because I didn't even realize what was happening until I landed on the last step. So my friends pick me up and we keep partying, but there comes a point where my friend literally needs to hold me up because my legs are just not functioning properly. And so he says, okay, like, let me help you to the bathroom, we'll get some water, we'll chill for a sec. So my vision is still completely blurry and I'm sweating so much that my shirt is literally dripping, like I can see the drops coming off me. I was completely out of it. I remember going to the toilet though, like some pill dick action, you know, I don't think I even peed. And then I was just splashing some water on my face while my friend went to get me a cup of water. He came back with water, I just sculled it in the bathroom. Then we started to leave. Again, he's still helping me because I'm falling over. And on the way out, a security guard just grabs me. He was walking in at the exact same time, just grabs my shoulder. no way, bro, not today. So other security guards come over, and through slurred speech, I'm yelling, no, leave my friend alone, because they're trying to grab my friend as well. So my friend was fine. They did actually let him go. And I was just like, oh God, they're for sure gonna call the cops. But I get led to this like back room. And in this back room, there was all the security, like literally like 6 guys. I was like, okay. And this dude in a suit, who I guess was the owner, I don't know. So this owner, I guess, of the club comes up to me, and the security is still holding on to me, and he's like, what's up with this guy? And I have no memory of anything else they said, but I do remember shaking the owner's hand for some reason, and I could feel the sweat. Like I made his hand literally completely wet. I remember his face, he like looked at his hand, so disgusted. And he was just wiping it off on his suit. So after they chatted for a bit, I guess, about what to do with me, they took me to an on-site paramedic, and her name was Rachel, and she is one of the nicest humans I've ever met. I love her. She did not care that I was so messed up. She was just there to help me, and I really respect that a lot. So I sit down with her, and she does her normal checks, you know, she asks me my name and where I am to make sure I know what's going on. And then first thing she does is check my blood pressure, because like I said, I'm sweating profusely, I'm hot, and it was air conditioning inside. So yeah, it was really weird having my blood pressure taken. I feel like that was gonna rip my arm off, it was so tight. But you know, she was just checking my blood pressure, just doing little little squeezy ball to get the air inside. And then after she takes it, she looks at me like really quizzically, and she says, do you feel okay? And I'm like, yeah, like I feel amazing. I feel great, man. I'm on 6 pills. I feel fantastic. And the look on her face, she was so concerned. And she said, okay, like if you feel weird, if you get a headache, like anything like that, you just let me know straight away. I was like, oh, okay. I really wish she told me what my blood pressure was, because I don't know, I guess it was really bad. It was fine, and she was chill, and she was laughing with me until she took my blood pressure. And then she was like watching me like a hawk and like telling me to take deep breaths and stuff. And I guess this is one of the reasons why I really stay away from hard stimulants now, because it's clearly not good for your heart health, your blood pressure. It's just not okay. Whatever my blood pressure was at that time must have been super concerning. So anyway, I'm sitting there, you know, chilling, talking to Rachel every now and then. And my friends see me because I'm sitting just outside the room, and they come over and they're like, oh my God, like, are you okay? We didn't know where you went, you know, just ring your phone. I forgot I even had my phone on me. And again, I was like, yeah, like, don't worry about me, man. Like, I'm all good. I just needed some water. I'm sitting down, like, I'm all good. The high had like set in at this point. I wasn't sweating or blurry vision anymore. I felt way better. Then I noticed one of the girls we met at schoolies wasn't there. So I asked, you know, oh, where is that girl? And one of my guy friends just starts laughing. And he points to the back corner of the room, like inside, where I see the girl who's like 16 maybe, like hardcore making out borderline Pornhub material with this guy laying on the floor of a nightclub with this DJ who's like way older than her, like 8 years older than her. Like this guy is like mid to late 20s and this chick is like 16. And I can't believe it, like he just did it. The DJ, he just did it. Like he was just being a pedophile on the floor, and it was fine, and no one stopped it. Security didn't give a shit. Like it's essentially a kids party, and this DJ is just making out with this chick on the floor. But this behavior, like I told you, these girls were just kind of certified hoes. Like this was just normal behavior for them. So after having a few laughs, I tell my friends like, go have fun, man. The party's almost over, you know, go have a good night. Then like pretty much as soon as they leave, security escort another girl into the med bay where I am as well. And she looked scared, like she was definitely not okay. So Rachel performs the same checks on her, decides she's okay. And then she kind of sits like a few meters away, like with her back to me. And so I just kind of started a conversation. I like went over, I'm like, hey, are you okay? Because, you know, I get super talkative when I'm on with MD. And I said like, yeah, I'm Rachel's assistant. Like, don't worry, you're gonna be fine. And I was like, why don't you come up, like sit next to me? And there was a bag of like medical supplies that Rachel had. And I'm just like picking them up. And I literally said as I'm moving it, I don't know if I'm meant to be touching this. And Rachel says behind me, that'd be a no, Josh. So of course I start apologizing. I'm like, Rachel, I'm so sorry. You know, I don't want to upset Rachel. She's an OG, man. Talking to her, she started to calm down. I'm like, how many did you take? She's clearly on the bean, right? And she's like, oh, just 2. I was like, oh, you'll be fine. I had 5. And she was shocked. And we were just sitting there laughing and talking. Like, of course, we're the people in our friend groups who get too high and have to sit in the med bay. Like, of course that's us. So the concert ends, they let me go, they released me from the med bay, so I said goodbye to Rachel. I got a great photo with her, which I probably will never show anyone because it's ridiculous. So my friends pick me up from Rachel, you know, we get a photo together. And then on my way out of the club, I see the same security guard who grabbed me initially at the toilet. So I actually went up to him and I was like, hey, I'm really sorry, like, I didn't mean to cause any issues tonight, like, I hope you had a good night, I'm really sorry. And he was so nice, he was just like, oh, all good man, and just like smiled, gave me a fist bump, and it was just cool, you know. So we left the club, and immediately I just sprint across the main road while screaming, even though there were no cars coming. And there were like people like yelling at me, like my friends were like, what are you doing? Now you might remember I said I drove. Yeah, so I drove. I have to say, before I go any further, do not drive under the influence ever, especially if you're the one that's sitting in the fucking med bay because you're too messed up. Should have just called a cab. Anyway, I drove, okay? I drove, me and my friends. I don't remember the drive, but I do remember going very slow on the way home. And I remember getting back home and we were safe, thank God. Straight away, I'm like, hey, like, I still have a pill left, so we cut... Straight away, as soon as we get home, I'm like, hey, like, I still have a pill left, so we crush this thing up, and we share it, and we're snorting it, we're classy, you know, split this one pill 3 ways, just straight up the left nostril. Went inside, had bong hits, till we finally went to sleep at like 6 or 7 a.m. This party finished at like 10 p.m, so we're just talking and chilling the whole night. That's something I always loved and missed about MD, is having great conversations all night, but of course you don't remember it in the morning, and it's just about nothing anyway. When I woke up, I cooked me and my friends some pasta, penne bolognese. They loved it, man. They would always come over and we have a cook and a cook, as we used to call it. Cooking yourself and cooking that pasta. But that was the time. I got way too beamed at a concert. Look after your friends. Do not get high and drive. Thank you for staying for the end of the video. Take the like button's blood pressure and be slightly scared at the result, and subscribe for more content. See ya.